Hey, I just want to let you know you're on mute.
Okay, thank you so much, Laura. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It Takes Courage. With me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. I'm a visibility expert, a best-selling author, and also the curator for TEDxHuntington Beach. And today is a very special day because today I have some of the speakers from TEDx Huntington Beach 2023, and we are just 4 sleeps away from the event this Saturday on September 23rd. So I want to welcome the speakers, Laura, Jen, Selena, Lisa, and Anjani to our show today. And we're going to be talking about the essence of possibility. Possibility is a word that quite a few people love. They love the word possibility. But what I want to uncover here is what is it underneath possibility that drives us towards our dreams, to making the impossible possible, to bridging the gap, to be the courage, to be brave out there. So first of all, let's say a quick hello to the ladies. Ladies, come and off mute and just say hello to everybody.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
And I think most of the speakers are already here in California. And Johnny flew all the way from the country down under Australia, where she flew to Australia, to England, and then to here. She's here in Huntington Beach. Lisa also flew from Canada. No, I think Scotland and then Canada and then here. And Selena and Laura are coming soon. I think tomorrow. The flight is tomorrow. And Jen and I are here in California itself. All right, so sorry, I've got like baby munchkin who wants to join us today. Apologies for the creaking chair and the baby. So he's also joining us in the world of possibility. So I'm gonna do a quick highlight and spotlight Laura for a second, just to share her take on possibility. So ladies, I'll see you in a moment, okay? All right, Laura, here we go. So, what's the biggest lesson that you learn about possibility, like from your unique take, from your key idea that you're going to be sharing this Saturday at TEDx Huntington Beach?
Yes, originally my big idea was bridging the gap between comedy and tragedy before tragedy struck. And I really didn't know how to do that, but I wrote one speech and then I walked away from it and I wrote this other one. And what I found that as I practice it, it comes more and more into highlight of what you need to do before tragedy strikes. I don't know why I can't say that word, but it's about the belief before and seeing the magic and possibilities in the world before something bad happens, so that if and when something bad happens, you have that deep faith that it's happening for you rather than to you. So that's my takeaway. I've actually been working with it, the principle, and using it myself, so it's good.
Brilliant. And this is the gap, bridging the gap between tragedy and comedy before it happens, right? Because that is something, unfortunately, is inevitable, but there's also a lesson that you can learn when it happens. But Laura on the talk at TEDx Huntington Beach, she is going to be sharing a methodology that she found that has helped her to bridge this gap. And if you are here with us, we would love for you to come and join us live at the event. We are sold out for the tickets, but there's a waiting list. So we want to go to TEDx Huntington Beach /tickets, or when the video comes up, go ahead, please check it out and share it with others. So we want to spread a world of possibility, right, Laura? The possibility of what if we can just bridge the gap between this and this even before it happens, and that's
Amen.
beautiful.
I will say you brought it up earlier today. So one of the lines, I'll give a little sneak preview. The only way to discover the limits of what's possible is to explore the impossible, and that's what we're all doing together, is co-creating this world of possibility.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Laura. We'll have you
Thank you.
back in a moment, okay?
Thanks.
So now I want to bring up forward to the stage my neighbor, So Jen Fontana, I think between us, um, she lives a couple of towns over, so not that far from me. Rehan. She was just here yesterday at Huntington Beach getting a beautiful facial here from one of the ladies. Rehan, from getting a beautiful facial from one of the ladies. So Jen, let's talk about this possibility that you have about creatives on them busting through their own money stories to do the thing that they love most to do. What's the key lesson that you learn from it?
Yes, often we hear stories where people have a dream since childhood or as you're growing up. And then because people have money stories or they have these ideas that, hey, you can't make money as a creative or you can't make money as an artist. And so, whether that's a musician, an artist, a painter, illustrator, designer, whatever it may be, there's this stigma that, hey, you can't make money doing that. And so the possibility in that is to explore, wait a minute, what if I could pursue that dream? What if I could go after my artistic and creative passions? What is the possibility that I can create wealth and success from that?
Absolutely. So what if the possibility that you can go beyond that notion, that notion that has been like, oh, creatives can make money, or creatives can go far in life. So you're breaking through the notion of, hey, what if this is possible? What if it's possible for you to make money and do the thing that you love most to do? What is it possible if you're able to live the life that you want and still be a creative? Right, Jen? So you bridging again in Laura's way, kind of like bridging the gap of what's possible, the impossible with what's possible.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jen.
Thank you.
So make sure you check out Jen's message. If you get to see Jen live, you've already bought the ticket. We can't wait to see you. I know Jen has been, having a few people like come and see that's gonna wanting to see her on the event. If you can't, there's a wait list on our tickets. If not, go and check out the video as soon as it comes out and support to spread the message. Thank you so much, Dan. We'll bring you back in a moment, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, next I want to spotlight Anjani and bring her to the stage. The lady who's like, I remember like when we had this conversation, I'm like, can you even travel to America, with all the multiple restrictions that they were having then? And I think like her being here, she's literally now in Huntington Beach, a few miles down from where I am. Her being here is kind of like the dream becoming a reality of breaking through that possibility of international travel restriction. So Anjani, your talk is about higher intelligence. It's hard to talk about higher intelligence because that's not something you can see. Like with logic, you can see it, right? 2 times 2 is 4. You can clearly see that. So what is this about higher intelligence that is the key lesson that you want people to know?
Yes, higher intelligence, as you say, it doesn't have a physical form, but neither does our imagination, neither does our daydreaming mind, and neither does our intuition, but still they're very, very real things in our lives. And so it's like electricity, just because you can't see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, doesn't mean it's not there and doesn't mean it isn't powerful. And look at the power of electricity. So for me, possibility lies only with our higher intelligence, which is our imagination. It is our intuition. It is our ability to daydream and paint vivid pictures of our future. And it's something that I really practiced in coming here and being able to come to America from Australia. When we first started talking about this and when I was first applying, it wasn't possible. It literally was not possible for me to leave Australia because of the lockdowns. And so I knew that in order for me to make the seemingly impossible possible, I had to hold a vision. I had to imagine it. I had to dream it into reality. And that's exactly what happened. And so it's our higher intelligence rather than conventional wisdom, which is what we think we must do, we should do, we have to face reality. And I say, no, We have to believe before we see. We have to create, imagine, and dream our own reality. And that's how we create new possibilities. That's how we make the seemingly impossible possible. And it can happen with a belief, if our belief is strong enough, and if we use our imagination and spend time daydreaming and listening to our intuition.
Beautiful. And the daydreaming, one of the things that Jen Fontana loves is coloring day at school. That's like, one of her happiest moments. And it's the dream, right, and Jenny, of what's possible. And the same with me. I had a vision of TEDxHuntington Beach, but I didn't know how, I didn't know who, I didn't know the what. But I could just imagining like the vision that, this community getting together and this possibility of people faces lighting up and laughing and smiling. Some of them are in tears, some of them are moved, touched, and inspired. And, having these beautiful people on stage, just sharing their message that is so pure, that is beautiful, that is truthful, that is moving, that it's just magical. Like I had that vision, but didn't know the details, right? And Jenny, like nobody would know the details. If we knew the details of everything, I don't think we would even start because it's too much to even start planning. I know some people, oh, you got to plan till the very details. For me, yeah, you got to have a plan. But if I were to plan all the 100 things, 1,000 things that needs to be done, I wouldn't start.
Yes.
Because there's just too many things.
Exactly. It starts with that idea. It starts with the dream always. And, I'm here, Disneyland is here. And there's a great quote by Walt Disney that says, if you can vision it, if you can see it, if you can imagine it, then you can create it. And look what he did with that. So it's a great quote for us to live by.
Beautiful. It is a great, like, see it, envision it, and you can create it. Thank you so much, Anjani. We'll bring you back in a moment. Okay, now I want to bring on stage Lisa, because Anjani and Lisa are buddy-buddy. So they're both like accountability partner. Right from the beginning, they had this connection between them and they've been holding each other into account, I think on a weekly basis, kind of like checking things out and practicing, rehearsing, and tweaking. And that's just, I think it's just beautiful. That's, when I imagine possibility, that's what I imagine. The support, the nurturing, the sister that has your back, kind of thing. So Lisa, let's share your take on your unique idea on living a life free from regret, but with a twist of using your portable roots.
Yeah, we're born with our roots. Our roots are always with us. And when you look at, children, for example, they are free. They are running around, going after what they want, expressing their emotions, unapologetically showing up in their lives, being present, living in the moment. And I think as we grow up and we become adults, we let the expectations and opinions and demands of other people disconnect us from that root system. And I believe the root system is what helps us move through fear, move through doubt, get really clear in going after what it is that you want. In a world where we're so quick to look externally for the answer. We want someone to tell us what to do. We want someone to help us make the hard decisions or make the decision for us. Roots are the absolute opposite of that. Roots are about going inward. And I believe that fear, the antidote to fear is focus. The antidote to doubt is your roots. And it's a practice that I'm going to share about going inward. I never thought that I would be sharing something kind of more on the spiritual side because I'm a very left-brained thinker. But recently with my theater show and all the things I've been doing, right, it's been going right-brained. And it's this practice that I use before I go on stage, before I speak, before I get Oliver up in the morning and my son and, the morning chaos happens to get him out to school. It's a practice that I use when I want to get focused, get present, be my best self. and just have the best day that I can possibly have, or the best experience. So it's a way to go inward and know that everything you're already searching for, you already have inside of you, and you just got to bring that awareness back to it.
Beautiful, and bring it like within you, like your roots. One thing that you shared is portable, right? I know, like if you imagine a tree, like it just stays there. It's actually, it's portable. Like I moved from one country to another, from Malaysia to England to India to here, America. Lisa moved from America to Canada on a whirlwind romance with her husband Eric. I mean, like, oh, excuse me, oh, sweetheart. Yeah, thanks, Eric, for that. So it is something that you have always within you, no matter that where you go. And if you imagine, I would just imagine when you talk about roots, Lisa, I'm like, can you imagine an oak tree like apologizing for every single leaf and everything that an oak tree does? It would be like crazy. The oak tree wouldn't survive. So it's kind of like having that deep roots within you, no matter the wind comes, no matter the squirrel comes, no matter, the rain comes, but always tapping it into who you are. You already know the answer of who you are, who you're being, and that's all that really matters. Like just like an oak tree, if you're strong, that no matter what happens, it's still going to be standing. So I think that's a beautiful message that Lisa is, bringing up on stage. Is kind of like looking inwards. And the message, Lisa, it never is the message of what you think it is. It's always the message that needs to be heard. Like, look, I started my journey with the fake you is the real you for my TED Talk, and it led to something else, right? So
Right.
it's always like we're just the instrument, we're just the vessel, we're just the vehicle on the right message from, and Johnny calls it high intelligence, from way beyond us to be shared on the stage. So thank you so much for that, Lisa, and we can't wait for you to share your little mini meditation, mini exercise that's going to help us connect on the roots. So if you're there, if you've got a ticket, we can't wait to see you on the day on 23rd of September here in Huntington Beach. If you don't, you want to get on the wait list in case there's an opening. So you want to make sure you get on the wait list ASAP and hear all the speakers speak. But there's also an opportunity to share to share the video as soon as it comes up. So thank you so much, Lisa. We'll bring you back in a moment, okay? All right, let us now say welcome Selena Lopez Hinojosa to the stage. And Selena has a beautiful message that she wanted to share, which is a life of sobriety, because she battled addiction, alcoholism, mental health for 20 years. And now she's an incredible mom of 3. She has her own business, and she was also the first cover model for a top magazine. So rather than focusing about, that part of your life was hard, but we want people to see the possibility of a life of sobriety. So what's your biggest take on that, Selena?
Hi, Iz. Thank you for having me. Well, as you mentioned, I struggled with alcoholism and drug addiction for much of my life, 20 plus years of my life. And what I wanted to express through my talk at TEDx Huntington Beach is that sobriety is so much more than just the abstinence of drugs and alcohol. A life of sobriety can be extraordinary. And for me, it started with stepping out of my comfort zone and never getting comfortable in this life of sobriety. And also, when I was ready, helping others do the same. Many people think that once you're sober, it kind of ends there, but it doesn't. There is unlimited possibility in the life of sobriety.
Beautiful. And that's limitless possibility. There's this expansion that it's just so fun to uncover, right, Selena? From one here to the other to the other. And what Selena mentioned is that don't be comfortable. You gotta, one of the key things in her message and a lot of sobriety is don't get comfortable. Always expand yourself in the next thing, trying out new things, trying out something that scares you, try out something that is fun, try out something that you've never done before, whatever that may look like. And then, like she said, when you're ready, help other people to go for their dreams and be uncomfortable. That
Yes.
is where a lot of expansion, possibility, and you surprise yourself on what's possible. So that is
Yes. And I
a,
wanted
a
to
beautiful
add
message.
is, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
I wanted to add is that you said the key words in what you just said now. Um, you have to do things that are a little scary. This TEDx Huntington Beach, the book that we just wrote together, all of these things have been scary for me. But it took that for me to continue growing as a person.
Absolutely. And when you do something scary, it's all that you focus on, right? Kind of like, you focus on, all right, how I'm going to do this. I'm going to write the speech. I'm going to write the book. How I'm going to make it like this. How I'm going to make it. That's kind of the shit that you focus on. And it's something healthy that you can focus on because you're like, right, how can I make an impact? How can I make it better so that people understand it? How I can make it simpler so that people can digest it? So it's kind of like, in a way, is something that is healthy. I know it's contradicting, it's scary. How can it be healthy for you? But look at all the ladies here, and let's bring the ladies up. So, ladies, how many of you are experienced that, this is actually scary? Sharing your words on TEDxHuntington Beach is a whole new thing here, like with the multiple iterations that you have to do. And I just want to bust through the myth that people say, you know what, TED Talk, I'm just going to wake up on that day and I'm just going to flow and say what I want to say. I want to call BS on that one, okay? Nobody wakes up on the TED Talk day and just flow. It takes months of like the ladies like, no, like we've been working on it since beginning of the year, kind of like intentionally. And some of the ladies have been working on it before they already had the idea and kind of filtering it. Like what Lisa said, her message was this, and then suddenly it becomes about roots and beliefs and those kind of ideas that come through. So it is scary. So if you ask the ladies here, it is something that challenges them every step of the way. And TED is not only prestigious and influential, but there's certain guidelines that TED has that us are like, but I want to say it like this, but no, we gotta say it in this way because it's part of the TED guideline. And one of the key reminders I want to let like all of you know who has the aspiration to be a TED speaker is that this is not your show. So this is not your show. This is not even my show. This is not the team's show. This is the show of possibility. It is the key message that we want people to hear for many, many years to come. So you really gotta like, all right, what's the important thing here? What is the key message that is trying to be heard and understood? And you will never go wrong. So let's take up the ladies here. Let's bring them back and, and ask them, changing here a little bit, what's one fun thing that you have discovered in the process of becoming a TEDx speaker? So, Selena, what's one fun thing that you've discovered in the process?
Well, it is, like I said before, this has all been scary for me. But as I became more comfortable with what I wanted to share, just the entire process of practicing and involving my family has been really enjoyable, really fun for me.
Beautiful. And that camaraderie of that community, of that love, right, Selena, of your
Yes.
family having your back. And Selena's mom is one of the most supportive mom I've ever seen. Like anything, she would just, yeah, baby, you've got this, And that's love and genuinity that you've like
Thank you.
You don't need a lot of people, but you need those that are going to be with you
Yes.
no matter what.
Yes.
Thank you, Selena. So
Yes.
Lisa, what's one fun thing that you've discovered throughout the process of becoming a TEDx speaker for TEDx Huntington Beach?
Yeah, I think the fun is when sometimes this moment hits you when you realize everything you've been praying for, everything you've been working for, everything you've ever dreamed about, you'd stop and take a moment and go, oh my God, it's here. Like, I've done it. This thing 5 years ago that was on my vision board that I wanted to do so bad. And as you said, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this and how this is going to happen or if this is even going to happen. But you hold that belief of possibility and you get focused and you do the work. And then all of a sudden, when you least expect it, you're in the middle of a rehearsal or you're making dinner and chopping vegetables. And all of a sudden, this wave of emotion hits you and you're like, oh my God, I've landed. Right?
Beautiful.
And I can do this. And then I'm going to get on the next plane and I'm going to do the next thing. Let me just take a moment right here to go, wow, everything I've ever dreamed of, I actually did it and it's here. And I think we miss that moment sometimes when we're go-getters and achievers and we want to make a big impact in the world. And it's actually Oliver who my 9-year-old a lot of times, or Eric, my family, who remind me, like, look what you're doing, babe. You're doing it. And I go, yeah, you're right. And that's just been a really cool gift to give yourself in the process when you're doing big, hairy, scary things.
Yeah, and it's crazy, right? Like, you dream of it, and then you're like, okay, what's the next thing? What is the next thing? Without actually allowing or giving us a permission to actually, oh my God, this is incredible. Like, don't know how I did it, but here we are. And one of the things that Lisa mentioned, that 5 years ago she had this dream, but there were things that happened. But one of the things that Lisa and I talked about is having the right connection in supporting your dream. The people that you want to be with in this journey has to be the right fit. Not only they have to say yes to you, but you have to say yes to them, because you're going to be spending a lot of time with these people. Okay, you want to make sure that you have this not just beyond liking, but having this we call it roots, Lisa, that root system that connects us together, that binding us together, the right root system.
Yes.
So and sometimes rejection is actually God's protection of directing you to the right path. I was rejected multiple times until I found a home, the perfect home for me. Sonali said yes to me, the TEDx Curator for Delpron Woman, and I said yes to her. So a tip for those of you who wants to be a TEDx speaker, don't just like pitch in just because you want to get in, but get to know the people that's going to be taking care of you for the journey. And that's what Lisa said, that's something that she was important to her and was important to me, to have, the people that you trust that have your back. So thank you so much, Lisa, for that. So Anjani, what's one fun thing or something spiritual that you have learned in this journey of becoming a speaker for TEDx Huntington Beach?
For me, it's definitely been connecting to what really matters, being authentic and living life with full integrity. And often that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of bravery to really go there and really allow yourself to connect to what really matters to you. And what's fun about that, what's joyful about that, is that then starts to have a domino effect around the people around you. So I've noticed that compared to other things I've done in the past, when I'm really connected with what really matters to me, it inspires others around me and it builds really strong bonds, and people really feel what you're doing. They feel the vibration of it, and that helps them catch that wave and feel inspired for their own life. And for me, that's the most fun. It's about really connecting with others from a place of full integrity. And that is the most joy you can have in life. And if we could do that all of the time, the world would be a very different place.
Absolutely. And this joy, right? This excitement, this integrity, trustworthiness, kindness, compassion. Those are the things that's going to be so undeniable about who you are, and it's going to transcend on stage, off stage, and that's how your message would always have this evergreen impact of touching people's hearts. It's the place that you come from of delivering your message. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Anjani. So Jen Fontania, what's the most something memorable, something fun that you have discovered on your journey to be a speaker at TEDxHuntington Beach?
I think for me, it was the accountability group, our buddy group. And I think when you are taking on a huge task and undertaking, just like Lisa shared, it's like, oh my gosh, you finally got this huge dream. You realize, like, you know what, sometimes you really can't do it by yourself. And it's not that you can't do the logical task of writing a talk and whatnot. And sometimes, we do need help with that. But it's the emotional roller coaster in which it's so important that we have that support system, that we have that community, that we were all able to get together once a month. And then even during those times when we didn't have our meetings, it was wonderful to have the support group of the accountability buddies and be able to just like, you know what, I'm frustrated with this, or like, oh my gosh, I finished that paragraph. I think I got the line, and to be able to celebrate that with other people that understand, yeah, we have friends and family, but when you had your accountability buddies, it's just like, they get it because they're in the trenches with you, and you're encouraging each other as this journey is going along. There's ups, there's downs, there's frustrations, there's wins and triumphs. And so I think that part has been, aside from, accomplishing, getting the actual talk done and feeling it and embodying it, but knowing that there's people that understand the exact journey and flight that you're going through, and that you can celebrate each other. And so looking forward to being together with everybody here and the other speakers live this coming weekend.
Absolutely. And one of the things that TEDxHuntington Beach that I encourage the speakers to do is buddy up with whoever that speaks to them, to take care of them, to support each other, accountability, or it's just like Jen said, we gotta go up and down. There's a lot of things that's gonna happen emotionally, physically, spiritually, that you want someone there who's got you. Sometimes they don't have to speak at all, but sometimes they just have to be there, and knowing that you can pick up the call and kind of like share things with them. From there's so many things, right, Jen? Yeah, you've had experience hosting events before. Hosting events is a big deal. There's a million little things that you have to take care of, especially on in-person events, because there's a whole nother layer that we have to take care of. So that is, something Jen wasn't potentially expecting, to have a buddy someone she trusts, that's gonna go through the journey with her. But that is always a blessing, isn't it, Jen, to have that with you. Thank you so much, Jen. And speaking of buddy, this next speaker has been my buddy, because they'll be like, Laura, I can't handle it. Whether there's a million things, whether it's the sponsor or the events, the speaker, like that's a lot, right? So, Laura, what's one of the things that you've discovered that's something that is unexpected for you, but has been a blessing throughout this journey?
I kind of went the opposite of Lisa. I'm very right-brained, so this sort of forced me into my left brain. And I will tell you, it was grueling, and I was starting to panic, like, I don't think I can do this. But I did it. And I really think that there was a higher power, or as Anjani says, that it's, there's something, I put it out there, and I believed and I believed and I believed, and it came to me. And now the fun part is listening to my own story and seeing what I'm suggesting other people do, and seeing it and finding it in my life, the trail of crispy fries. And right now it's popping up left and right. So it's making my life fun again. So it's almost like I'm inspiring myself. And I do believe we have to start with self so that we can share with others. Like, this really is something that's true. It happens to me all the time. It will happen to you. And that's fun. So I'm in the fun zone. I'm turning it over, because all of that hard work, that left brain work, that, you want to make sure you craft something that's understandable, has been done. And now it's playtime.
Absolutely. Now it's playtime. And something Laura mentioned is that sometimes you just got to surrender to what is the process of things. She's very right brain. Look, Laura is out of the box thinker. Okay, you tell her and she goes like boom, like all over the place because she's out of the box thinker. But sometimes you gotta surrender, especially with the tech talk, because there's a way, a process to do things. You can't just like say things like wake up and flow kind of thing. So sometimes you just got to surrender to the process and trust in the process. It may not be what you're comfortable with or what you know, but just trust in the process and the team that is taking care of you. That's what our job is. That is my job and my team, is to take care of you. We want you across the finish line the best way possible, safely, gracefully, quickly, the best way possible. And sometimes it doesn't look that way, but we all want you to succeed. We all want you to have that message out there. So that's why it's so important to have the people that have the same vision as you in the team, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult and painful for everybody. So you want to make sure that you take care of one another and hold on to that vision. In TEDx Huntington Beach, we have one thing and one thing only, and nothing else matters. It is a world of possibility and nothing beyond that really matters. So ladies, let's wrap up the show with one word, the possibility that I'm creating for myself and my life, the possibility that you want for yourself and your life is the possibility of, we'll start with Anjani, the possibility of one word.
Higher intelligence.
Higher intelligence. Why am I not surprised? Beautiful. Jen Fontania, the possibility of
Inspiration.
Inspiration. Lisa, the possibility of
Love.
Love, love, love. We should have a t-shirt, right, Lisa? Tell Larry to get us a t-shirt of the love t-shirt. Yeah, that we have that love t-shirt. Selena, the possibility of
Hope.
Hope. Beautiful. And Laura, the possibility of
Faith.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. You can check out, we would love to come and see you at TEDx Huntington Beach on 23rd of September at Talbot Middle School. You can go to TEDx Huntington Beach /tickets to come and join us. We are sold out, but make sure you get into the wait list in case there's any openings. But if not, make sure you check out the talk and the video of the speakers here. It's going to be absolutely incredible, and the magic of it. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for the hard work and the trust. I can't wait to see you ladies this Saturday. No, this Thursday, we have a rehearsal, and we're just gonna, smash it out all that and have a little bit of fun, having a little bit of love, sharing a lot of love with one another and taking care of one another. All right, everybody, take care. May peace be upon you. And remember, the courage to share your voice is always been inside of you. Your voice is too valuable to be hidden. So it's time for your voice to be heard and understood. Take care, everybody. May peace be upon you. Bye, 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 bye.